The girl's internal organs had been removed, and her body was turned into a paper doll that hung in the air. The killer was soon caught, but he proudly claimed that he was mentally ill and would eventually be released without punishment. Seeing the murderer treat human life so lightly, the girl's brother became furious. He wanted to draw his gun, but his colleague stopped him, otherwise, he would have become a criminal too. The man and his sister depended on each other. The girl was sensible and hardworking, often staying up late to finish her schoolwork and design projects. The man wanted to improve their life and help his sister achieve her dreams. He swore to become a good police officer, always rushing to the front line in every case. With his duty to protect the people and his sister's support, he stayed true to his beliefs. Until one day, he arrested a serial killer. A few days later, the killer was released without charge, because he had been drunk at the time and was deemed not responsible for his actions. The man didn't know how to face the victims' families, and his sense of justice began to shake. One day, a criminal he had once arrested called him, saying he would make him pay. Feeling uneasy, the man rushed home, only to find his sister's tortured body. Later, the killer was once again released for being mentally ill. The man broke down completely. He smashed everything in the house, except his sister's untouched birthday cake. If the law could not punish the murderer, then he would bring justice himself. From that day on, he put on a mask and began to roam through the dark city. He captured the man who had killed his sister, gouged out his eyes, cut off his limbs, and soaked his body in chemicals. He even connected him to machines, forcing him to live in endless pain. The man posted murder warnings online to spread fear among criminals. Soon, his actions became known to everyone. Some saw him as a criminal, while others called him a hero. One day, he discovered a pervert who kidnapped young girls. The man locked them in a basement and tortured them. When he was displeased, he threw them into a meat grinder or sealed them inside walls to admire. Even with solid evidence, the fat man was released again because he was rich and considered mentally slow. The masked man caught him and decided to let him experience being shredded alive. Just as the machine started, it suddenly stopped. The one who saved the criminal was the man's detective friend. The fat man escaped, and when the masked man tried to chase him, the detective blocked his way. He kicked the detective to the ground and pulled out his weapon, but he couldn't bring himself to hurt his friend. The detective took the chance to subdue him. The once righteous officer was now in prison, a murderer in the eyes of the law. People pitied him deeply, but in the end, he was sentenced to death. Even though he was gone, the masked avenger did not disappear. The fat man, who had escaped death, smiled arrogantly after hearing about the execution. He began looking for his next victim, but before he could act, another masked man appeared and stabbed him to death, passing his own judgment upon him. Do you think the police officer's final actions were just? Do you still believe in the law?